Alrighty, and we are live on episode 2 of a short and shorter podcast. Episode 2, baby.
Woo! Woo! Better sound quality. Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, that's probably all gonna peak now, but it's okay. You might have some white noise in this audio. We're working on it. It is episode 2. It is a work in progress. Did me and Alex do any research? No, not really.
I invested in some soundproofing.
Yeah, and I invested in a mic. Apparently he does have a podcast book, but we haven't opened that. Why?
even after making the other podcast episode where we talked, oh hey, we should read this. Did I do that? No. Did I read part of my Loki book? Yeah.
Which Loki is the topic of our discussion today.
Oh yeah.
When we're recording this, only 2 episodes of Loki have come out. There's going to be spoilers, but I mean, this is going to be in the future, so maybe you've caught up.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, there's going to be a Loki review for the first part of the conversation. First question, what are your thoughts and feelings on the first 2 episodes?
I liked the second episode more than the first episode. And actually, with this, I made notes.
I disagree. I like the first episode more. But anyway, go ahead with your
I like the second episode. It's kind of like, I like Loki in control more. I feel like he's more true to his character and whatnot.
I think it's fun that he wasn't in control in episode 1. I think that's
really
great. I loved seeing him confused and bewildered. I would love to see Thor's reaction of Loki having no plan or anything and just being confused about a situation.
I mean, like in Thor Ragnarok, when Thor caught Loki being Odin and whatnot, there was that moment and the hammers coming towards, you know what I mean? So I guess Thor has had those moments. That's me.
It's me. Love that. Yeah, so there's that, but I just feel like there's probably, I think this one would really be like, wow, Loki is not in his element. Mm-hmm. And also, first episode gave me a little bit Doctor Who-y vibes. And I appreciated that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched Doctor Who yet, even though I'm a huge sci-fi Star Wars fan. But let's get into it. Okay, I took it. So, how do you like Owen Wilson?
I think he's doing his role pretty well. It's interesting to see him in it's not super serious, but a relatively, so far, serious role.
Yeah.
And I think, I also love that side character, that, intern guy. He's not an intern, but,
the one with the rocks, or the desk jockey, or whatever. There's memes about him already.
I love him. He hates his job, but he's vibing and is already fed up with Loki, and he's only known Loki for 2 days.
I mean, honestly, relatable when you have a new hire.
You can talk.
There's a quote. So what I did was I just made numbers of thoughts. Soft spot for broken things. What do you have a soft spot for? The one director lady mentions that to I don't remember Owen Wilson's character name. But yeah, there's a point where she says that in regards to Loki and whatnot. I have a soft spot for horns and artsy people. I also didn't think of my answer that much. What do you have a soft spot for?
In general?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, this wasn't a good question.
It was not a good question.
Strike that
We're
from
talking
the record.
about Loki. Anyway, so hold on, though. I'll tell you the Loki theory, though.
Okay.
So we have in episode 2, spoiler, we have Lady Loki, supposedly in the end. But she says she doesn't like being called Loki. Her horns are really small. She doesn't have black hair. And her outfit kind of looks like the Enchantress. Mm-hmm. So that's just a theory, but
I will say her horns are reminiscent of Kid Loki or Teen Loki. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'm for it because with those out and made into a movie, there's no way that's not going to be a marketable thing for a Halloween costume, which is coming up. And I, for years, since Thor came out, have wanted Loki horns.
Yeah.
But my head is big as hell, and it'd be hard.
Yeah.
Listeners, all 3 of you, if you have Loki horns or have a link to help me get Loki horns, please let me know. Also, fun fact, by the time we're making this podcast, on the last episode, I made a mention of, hey, if you want to see Raya Last Dragon, let me know, I can send you a link. Well, they can just watch it on Disney Plus now because it's already come out, so it's not necessary.
Oh, I also talked about our listeners. Once again, if anyone has a business that they want us to promote, send us $10 and we will promote your business.
Or kiss me, and I will send Morgan $10. That offer still stands.
Back on that bit, yep. What a time. Yep. Anyway, I'm excited to see where Loki goes with this. I think we're gonna basically give Loki another arc, because we've already given him a good guy arc, and now this is a new Loki that's gonna have to go through another good guy arc. Or no, maybe he won't turn good. Maybe he'll be an asshole.
I like how it's reset, but he is aware of what he went through, though. Mm-hmm. So it's not like having to watch Peter Parker. It's not like having to watch Uncle Ben die again.
Right, but oh gosh, that was so sad though when he saw like his death. And when you think about it though, so like his tape didn't end right when he died. It ended of Thor hugging him. So that means his last known thought of being alive was Thor hugging him as he dies. And that's just
fuck. God dang, I did not realize that.
Yeah, because if it would have ended with nothing else, he would have died the second that Thanos, crushed him.
Uh-huh.
But no, his last...
Thanos snapped his neck.
What a time, what a time. So that's our Loki review. I'm giving it, I feel like it's going to be just as good as WandaVision. So
I think it's going to be better, but I also like Loki more.
True, I was a little bit upset with, not upset, but I thought Falcon Winter Soldier was a little lackluster. I
did not finish that yet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty lackluster. It literally follows the MCU formula to a T.
Yeah.
Everything's very predictable.
Superhero, what do you call it? Soldier propaganda or whatever. I had some, let me just say my notes. I'm very proud of myself and will get my validation.
Okay.
He believes in himself enough for the both of us. And I relate to that.
Uh-huh.
Everyone knows you're a trickster. No, history's most reliable liar. These are just me regurgitating good, fun things.
Okay.
Here's a neat trick. Pretend your life depends on it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. Loki and controlling the thing. I just love when Loki is like, nothing matters. No consequences.
Yes.
And honestly, I love that. He's at Pompeii, just thriving. And part of me is the only difference is, that, the volcano goes and they're ash. They've found bodies mid-thing.
Right.
I guess the change would be maybe they're slightly over here instead because they're running from Loki or something.
Right.
Or maybe someone carved, oh no, Loki.
Oh no, Loki. I also love the concept though that Owen Wilson has been in Pompeii twice in his acting career, because him and the gay gladiator were in Pompeii in Night at the Museum.
Robin Williams, why are you made of wax? Again!
So yes. I just think that's funny. I don't think Owen Wilson thought he would do a Pompeii scene twice, but here we are.
Yeah. 2050 event. It's fun that the world's still alive in 30 years.
Let's hope we're still thriving.
Yeah.
That was the scene I thought was weird, though. They have the 2050 event, and, Loki gets knocked over, and there's, little mechanical dogs.
Yeah.
Which I think are a dumb thing to put in, because we're going to have way cooler mechanical dogs in 2050.
We thought those were futuristic in, 2001.
Right, why do we put these dumb dogs here?
Maybe it's, throwback, how vintage things get very popular suddenly sometimes. There was some of it. How Backyardians music slaps?
Yeah, did you know that number one, Castaways is number one on Spotify right now?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Castaway. Can we sing? You know what? I'm good. We are castaways.
Okay, stop.
Ahoy there. Ahoy. Hi, if you're listening right now, the first 9 minutes got muted because I just sang a riff of Castaways.
What a time. But yeah, so that's a review of Loki. Hopefully you weren't watching this to get a genuine review of Loki. We just told you what happens and said we had a good time. So
that's kind of gonna be a lot of our podcast is we just say we have a good time.
Yeah.
Welcome to a short and shorter podcast if you're just listening now after the muting. We're just gonna vibe.
Yeah, we should come up with a rating system of
yeah.
How many? I don't know.
Out of 5.
No, I'm trying to think of a funny one that we could do.
Ooh.
I give it I give it like 6 out. No, I give it 7 out of 10 pairs of shorts.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
We'll workshop this off air.
Off air, yeah. So you guys, we're gonna have a rating system at some point. We're gonna think of that.
Transition time.
Okay.
Wait, it's like Loki. No consequences. There's a volcano about to go in my metaphorical throat. Ted Cruz the Zodiac Killer.
Anyway.
Morgan's getting tired of me.
Listeners should probably start a drinking game for how many times I say anyway. Usually when I say anyway, it's after something I've had to edit out. I just want you guys to know that fun fact. So, let's talk about our day, which not technically our day doesn't matter to any of you guys, but it should matter because you're listening to us.
And you're probably our Facebook friends.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you know about our day?
Mm-hmm.
I got invited as a +1 to my very first Little Person event.
Yeah! And I invited my very first +1 to a Little Person event. Woo!
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going to be quiet. I want to hear your take.
Well, first tell them, like, what it is. Like.
Oh, okay. So, Little People of America, the LPA, imagine the NAACP, but not as powerful or relevant. I mean, yeah. We can't get a TV show taken off the air or anything. But yeah, it's kind of like, if you're a little person, your parents are probably not little people, or they are. You probably aren't related to a lot of little people. We don't have many second or third generations. And if we do, cool, correct me. I'm flattered you're listening. So it's kind of like, oh, no, we have a little person. What do we do? Well, we have a community where we just hang out, and today we went roller skating. That's kind of a staple. That or just going group things. It's mostly kind of for kids and new parents and whatnot. There today, like some people I grew up with, my friend Aubrey was there, and it was great to see her. And Steve and Henry, if you guys are listening to this, and Sarah, and I'm sorry guys, I'm not going to just rattle off names.
Right, no, they're not going to know unless they're listening.
Yep.
But yeah, so I went, and it was a good time. I did not know before I befriended Alex, I did not know there was an LPA. But it makes sense. I mean, you want to hang out with people who you have an important thing in common with. And you want to be with people who have the same struggles as you. So it was really interesting. I also put my foot in my mouth within 30 minutes of being there. There was a race for the roller skating, and there was this one little girl in the way, and everyone had to be off the rink unless you were skating. And I said, when it was quiet, I said, oh, we have to wait for the little munchkin to get out of the way.
And there was dead silence.
So that's great. That's like, you just don't say that.
She said it, like, I made a point to laugh very loudly, to be like, oh, ha ha ha, comedic relief, ha 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 ha. And then I said out loud, LMAO, Morgan, that's how you get canceled. You really goofed on accident, huh?
Yeah, I work with kids a lot, and I use the word munchkin, and I like my little cousins and nieces, I call them all munchkin, so it just made sense to me. That's what it's part of my vocabulary, just to say that. So anyway, I'm a bozo. We'll see if I get invited to the next event.
I mean, you're in the group photo.
I am in the group photo.
And then you held a baby right after that, so I think you're yeah, I think literally that's what politicians do. They kiss baby. You already did damage control afterwards. You got in a group photo. You held a baby.
And they're like,
a little person baby.
This woman's never done anything problematic in her life.
Yeah.
Look
it's
at her.
It's good PR. LPR.
Good time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It was good to be there. It's good to recognize people and whatnot. For me, hi, welcome to the short take. Oh shoot! I didn't even think of that. That was just my take on it, which yeah, it's kind of like family, really. I mean, we don't talk too much. That's also just on me. I'm in my own world and whatnot. Fun fact: I'm like the tallest little person there.
You were. Out of me and the other, like, there was like 3 other normal-sized adults. You were the tallest one there.
Yep. Oh, it was also the day of me becoming the official games master of the Northeast chapter of LPA. Fight me for my title. You will not usurp me.
I don't think anyone will fight him for his title. He literally made that title for himself today.
Yes.
But also, though, if anyone's in the Brunswick area, there is a roller rink there, and that's where we had it at. Amazing staff. They were so nice. They put up with all of Alex's nonsense. Super great. And they let us win prizes for the games, even though, technically, that's not a
told
thing.
them, hey, we need prizes for this. And they were like, yeah, okay.
Also, I saved a child's life. Not really, but he ran into me, and we were both going full speed. I couldn't stop, because I'm not a great roller skater, but I just held us both as we spun. And, the child's life saved, and mine. Great.
Yep.
Go me.
Yeah, proud of you. I wore my Buy Pride hat on the DL and was warm reception and didn't get canceled.
Very nice.
Yep.
And that's important. There we go. We finally got the words going.
Just maybe do an edit mashup of me stumbling with words and then.
Yeah. But anyway, this was our little intro to Alex's music time.
Oh, great! Yeah, that was a good time. Today's musical selection will be a kalimba version of
Technically, we cannot say what it is. So, fun little thing it will have to be for you to
Free
guess.
Fawn by Real Not Dragons.
Oh my god, Alex. It is what it is. Anyway, so back to Loki, though. I know I thought we were going to stop at that, but I want to say some things.
Yes, please.
I read an interesting theory today of how the TVA might be in the quantum realm.
What's the TBA?
The TVA is where Loki's at.
The Time Bureau's.
The Time Variant Association.
Yes.
That is literally where he's at. Anyway, so if you noticed in Ant-Man, they talk about the quantum realm and they say time moves differently here. And then in Endgame, where they go into the quantum realm and they're like, time moves differently here. And then when Loki asks Owen Wilson, how long have you been here? And he goes, I don't know, time moves differently here. So, I think the TVA is a little tiny city within the quantum realm. And that could be a possibility because we do have the new Ant-Man movie coming out called Quantumania. And we also, in episode 2, now I don't know where this is going to go, so in episode 3 you guys will probably know that I'm wrong or right. They send out the bomb that messes with the sacred timeline. So that means all these other multiple timelines are going to open up, which will then probably lead into Doctor Strange of Multiverse of Madness. So, very excited how all these are going to line up. I hope they do.
You know how there's that image of Charlie with all the poster boards and conspiracy theories?
Yes.
Pepe Sylvia?
Yes.
That's you right now.
Just trying to match up timelines. But honestly, though, people all thought how WandaVision was going to go, and they thought it was going to be a completely different villain, and everyone was wrong. So I could be...
And that we would have a big multiverse thing with Speedy, Flash.
Yeah. However, at
Silver.
the end of WandaVision, people, you know, the guy, Silver... God, what is his name? Silver something.
Hold on.
Anyway, Evan
Pietro.
Peters. Yeah, his name's Pietro. We have him.
Ooh, say that again.
Pietro.
Oh, you're so much better at that pronunciation.
We have him like laughing at his name that his last name's Boner. But if that was his real last name, he wouldn't find it funny. So, I think they could still open up of it being the Pietro, but from a different multiverse.
Quicksilver,
that's his name. Wow, thank you, Google, for being on hand during our lovely talks here.
Can you say other Russian things well? Well, not Russian. I guess it's Eastern European.
Yeah, probably not. I'm just like, that's just how Wanda pronounces it.
Pietro. I can't roll my R's.
Yeah, it's a rough one. I'm learning Spanish, fun fact. That's not Spanish at all, but
No, fun, not English stuff.
right, Duolingo coming in clutch. Hopefully I can learn a new language, like, I don't know, every 2 years maybe. We'll see. Probably not. I'm gonna try my best.
Morgan, come on. 2 years ago, were you this hot? Nuh-uh. Listeners, if you're not aware, which you should be, this is Hot Sauce Morgan. Morgan's amazing. Morgan's never looked this hot. And she's only gonna get hotter. But too bad, she's dating a great guy named Ryan. Maybe delete that so we don't put a target on Ryan's head.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird. That's a weird comment.
Listeners, if you like to simp, hit up Morgan.
We just keep on bringing up simps in this conversation.
This podcast.
Yeah. But also, so I just rewatched all of the Marvel films in order since the first time I watched them all. It took me about 2 months because I have a bad attention span and I am not a binge watcher of anything. What a time. I still loved them all. There's some questionable plot holes in Endgame that I didn't notice before. If anyone can correct me, I can probably Google it. But I don't understand how Thanos came in traveled through time. I don't get that. I guess he could have created his own Pym particles.
I mean, they had, like, the tech there, or they might have gotten it from, what's Gamora's sister?
It's Nebula, but Nebula already had to use her Pym particles to travel back to pretend to be fake Nebula.
Yeah, and I guess they just shared them.
No, because they only had one pair to get back. That's the main thing inside Endgame is that every person only has 2 sets of Pym particles, one to get where they're going and one to get back. So then I guess maybe Thanos did recreate Pym particles. I mean, he's smart, I guess. Mm-hmm. He has an entire army and has committed mass genocide, so maybe he's kind of smart. I don't know. Not that genocide makes you smart. Don't take that. That's not a thing to say. But he obviously...
Morgan, cancel for the second time in one day.
I know. I just keep saying these things. Someone just put a muzzle on me. So basically, we just Googled, because once again, Googling, apparently Thanos does just solve the tech and makes his own Pym particles. But I feel like...
That's a boring answer.
Yeah, he's a bozo. I feel like he could just go into space. If he has Pym particles, if he's just done time travel...
Well, then again, if he's time traveling, who knows how much... Like, it feels like instant, but maybe he worked on it for like a year.
Maybe. Also, I just feel like he could have went and got the stones again now that he has time travel. And he could figure out where they're at and just go get them again. Why would you go fight the people that you know have already taken your head off once?
Because he is inevitable.
Apparently, they're part of the sacred timeline. Because the timekeepers are like, you know what? This should happen. We like that this happens. Which is stupid. God, I really wonder who we're going to find out who the timekeepers are.
I just think I don't think that's going to be a big reveal. I just think they're like the Guardians of Oa from Green Lantern. I just think there's some old people, and yeah. Or it's going to be some big important reveal.
Would you see the timekeepers as villains?
No.
You don't? Even though they're wanting life to go in a certain specific way for them, and even though they have no qualifications to want life to go that way?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's me still having my Catholic upbringing and just trusting people up top.
So you're just associating these timekeepers with God?
I mean, yeah.
I associate the Watchers with God. I think the Watchers they don't interact. They literally just watch things unfold.
Huh.
I think the timekeepers are villains. I think it's going to come out that they're villains.
I mean, you just, one of us just got canceled by the Catholic Church. But also me talking about being bisexual probably did that.
Oh, when did I get canceled by the Catholic Church?
With you saying the timekeepers aren't like God?
Oh.
I don't know.
That doesn't work.
I'm just
Anyway, I did
happy.
get handed the biblical things from the religious people outside the Asian market today. So maybe they're like, you know, who needs God? This woman right here, in her short shorts, and cleavage out. But who knows?
I mean, I had a Baby Yoda in my overalls.
Yeah, but they're like, you know what? That's a good man. That man takes care of children.
Or there's no hope for him.
That's also an option. But anyway, we're nearing the end of our time.
Okay, wait. I got a good pun. What do you call low occupancy ghost area.
I don't know.
Exclusive.
Ooh, spooky. Spooky, spooky. Alright, well this has been a good chill time. I hope you listened to it. I hope you appreciate the audio. I apologize for the white noise. We're still a work in progress. But thank you so much. Any last words, Alex?
They call me white noise because you really don't have to pay attention to me.
Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Hopefully you listened, and we love you, and have a good night. Or day. I don't know where you're going to listen to this. Bye-bye.
Bye.